You can watch all the Everest vlogs in the world, but no one tells you what not to do. These are the mistakes that I made that nearly ruined my trek and cost me time, money, and sanity. Mistake number one, booking my flight without my full name. This may sound like a small detail, but it caused way more stress than you'd think. So when flying internationally, especially to countries in Asia, your airline ticket has to match your passport exactly. So that means your first name, your last name, and yes, your middle name. I skipped mine when I booked, and while I didn't get kicked off any flights, it created a headache I didn't need. I had to contact the airline multiple times, go back and forth on policies, and almost ended up with fees I could have avoided. So always enter your full legal name when booking. One missed word can spiral very fast. Mistake number two, wearing too many layers while hiking. The mornings are freezing in the Himalayan mountains. That part is true, but I made the rookie mistake of piling on every layer I owned just to stay warm at breakfast. And then not even 30 minutes into the hike, the sun would come up, my body would be warmed up because we started climbing, and suddenly I was overheating like crazy. The worst part, I had nowhere to put my layers. I was, stuck with stuffing them in my day bag. So my day bag turned into this huge, very heavy bag filled with clothes. So smart layering is key. Staying cold is definitely not what you want, but you'll warm up fast. And your knees will thank you for not having to carry 5 pounds of sweaty fleece all day. Mistake number three, skipping the garlic soup cure too long. I laughed off the garlic soup for the first few days. Locals would suggest it, my guide would swear by it, but I figured it was just maybe a gimmick or just meant I was dehydrated. But once altitude sickness hit me hard, headache, fatigue, nausea, the works. Out of desperation, I gave the garlic soup cure a try, and it helped. Was it a miracle? No, but it did give me a noticeable relief for a little bit. Maybe it was just the hydration, maybe it's superstition, or maybe garlic soup just works. Either way, I wish I had started it a lot sooner. Mistake number four, hiking too fast so you're not enjoying the journey. In the beginning, I treated the hike like a race. I wanted to get to the next tea house early, get the first pick of the room, and beat the crowd. But what actually happened, I'd arrive way too early with nothing to do for hours. Now, I would take a nap sometimes, but I could have actually enjoyed the trail a little bit more, taken longer breaks, soaked up the views of the Himalayan mountains more, grabbing some more tea with locals. So this trek isn't about getting there first. It's about the journey there. So slowing down just, would give you just some of the best memories. So I learned that lesson a little bit too late. Mistake number five, not bringing snacks from home. Snacks may sound small, but on this trek, they matter more than you think. Now, I assumed I'd stock up in Namche Bazaar or along the trail. Huge mistake, even in Kathmandu. Snacks in Nepal are either non-existent or barely edible. I bought local granola bars that were so hard, I thought I'd crack my teeth. So bring your own from home. Protein bars, trail mix, peanut butter packets, whatever keeps you going. Because when you're hungry at 14,000 feet and the only thing on the menu is overpriced Snickers, you'll be glad you packed ahead. So literally the only snack you could buy in most of all of Nepal, but definitely on the trek, is Snickers or candy bars. They don't really have a lot of snacks like a convenience store like in America or Europe or Japan or China. It's a very, very slim pickings for the snack world. Mistake number six, not drinking enough water. Everyone says it, drink more water, and still I didn't drink enough. Now, carrying multiple water bottles felt like too much weight, so I tell myself, oh, I'd refill at the next village, or I'll buy some more water at the next village. But sometimes that village was hours away, or the water they didn't have any. So, I just was too tired. So anyway, the end result is dehydration, headaches, fatigue, all avoidable. Now I know, always carry more water than you think you need, and drink constantly. Not just when you're thirsty, it's one of the simplest ways to protect yourself on this trek. Keeping the weight down in your pack is definitely a lot of science. You kind of see when the next village is, and you're like, all right, I have enough water to get to the next village. But a lot of times, you wouldn't actually get that science right. Like, you think the next village is an hour away, but it's 2 hours away. Or you want to take a longer break. So try not to do too much of the science of, oh, I have enough water to get me to this point, and just carry the extra weight and carry more water than you think, because that is really the only way to truly stay hydrated. Or there may be a really big hill that makes you more thirsty. So even though you thought you had enough water to get to the next village, you didn't know that there was a giant incline before that village. So then you go, you're dehydrated. So, I definitely heard everybody and did not plan on being the one not drinking enough water, but it happened. Mistake number 7, overspending on expensive wool layers. So before the trek, I dropped hundreds of dollars on premium wool shirts, socks, underwear, the works. Everyone said wool was the gold standard for high altitude trekking. And sure, wool is great, but here's the truth. I didn't actually need it. Regular dry fit clothes would have worked just fine. And I already had those in my closet. Now I'm stuck with hundreds of dollars worth of wool gear that I'll probably never need again, or just don't really need. So if you're already an experienced hiker, chances are you have what you need. Don't fall into the trap of overbuying fancy gear just because you're headed to Everest. I set out on this hike of Everest Base Camp thinking I was prepared, and I was, mostly. But these 7 mistakes reminded me that even with research, you'll mess up, get uncomfortable, and maybe even question what you're doing. But that's what makes it a journey. From flight drama to freezing mornings, overpriced wool to altitude regret, I learned the hard way. And now you don't have to. My full Everest series is packed with every struggle, win, and tip I picked up along the way. So hit that subscribe button and also visit alextravelsfar.com for my blog and Google Map links. I'll see you on the next adventure.